candidates once against violence. Candidates suspend campaign. And away from that, no evidence has linked our church attack to Iswa Fayemi. Ondo Diocese fixes Friday for mass burial of victims. Very unfortunate. 3 persons slumped at Democracy Day parade. King Gibi recognized as vice president. Collapsed national grid. Metaphor for collapsing country. Atiku. Moghalu quits ADC after losing presidential ticket. Jeba-based bishop, wife, driver kidnapped in Oyo. 3 pastors kidnapped in Kogi. Abductors demand 80 million naira ransom. Youths, elderly protest over insecurity in Southwest. Good morning and welcome again. Yes, we kick off with stories that have to do with politics. On this in APC, over to Nogo's running mate.
Well, it's nice to be here again and to God be all the glory. And happy Democracy Day.
Thank you.
May the souls of the people who died during this rest in peace. Yes. Now, it is a little bit interesting.
Okay.
Interesting in the sense that Muslim ticket or Christian ticket. If not because of recent phenomenal developments in the country, it doesn't make any difference. How am I saying? If you look at the positioning of the PP in the Oshiba, it got that, basically on 2 major factors. One is from the south, 2 is a Christian. But those 2 reasons have been defeated. Whether we like it or we don't like it, number one. He has never commented until recently about the killings of the Christians or Muslims across the country. Never.
So you can say generally about the Christians, about killings across the country.
Via Sharibu, we can't find them. No, let's even talk about Muslim ticket. What are people actually campaigning for?
Okay.
He's the pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church. An evangelist from Redeemed, a lady was murdered in the morning, dissected into pieces with the Bible in her hand while preaching. He has never said anything. And until now, he too is running around to become the president of Nigeria, and he then condemned the killing of Dorcas, that student in Sokoto, for the first time. And he was still referring to the condemnation by the president and the Sultan of Sokoto. So, and then they allegedly said that nepotism.
But did he ever say anything about killing of Muslims?
This is something he has never commented on any.
That was generally.
This is something generally, but again, we still need to situate it in the fact that
he was given the ticket.
He represents the Christian community.
Okay,
Why Mr. President should represent the Muslim community in a secular situation that we find ourselves. But then, when you look at it critically and holistically and without bias or sentiment, that position is defeated by the man's body language and behavior.
Okay.
We were going to the Muslim organization. There is this guy called Ibitu Ikwiwe, a general in the Navy, and who was number 2?
Commodore,
yeah. Commodore is the Brigadier General in the Army.
You're right.
So now, when his boss says, listen, they're gonna go for this and that, he said no. Commander in Chief of the Armed Forces that wouldn't do that. That for him, he has to go back home. And all occasions I've met him on VI, he has been given a standing welcome by all of us. He resigned and left. So if anybody is not telling me, and that's a military regime that could have been court-martialed, and it could have happened to him. So if anybody is not telling me, somebody's been handicapped by this and that, I think is a lie. And that is why Muslim Christian ticket may not really play. But when we now look at the recent developments, as I was driving to the studio right now, I heard that a bishop, of the Anglican diocese has been kidnapped in Kapa. Another one kidnapped here and there, this and that. And people now be wondering, these people went to a church where people were worshiping God and they murdered them. So when you now look at it, it's not going to be okay. If you now have Muslim ticket, it's going to speak for the Christians. It's going to do this and that. It's going to be a day when, number one, our tribe, our language, our religion, all those mundane sentiments will not matter any longer. I'm looking forward to that day in Nigeria. It could have been the beginning of it all with Abiola Kingibe's ticket. But unfortunately, the man that wiped that particular process was also the one that annoyed it. And it's also unfortunate that the people that the man claimed that they could have killed him and he didn't want to die are the same people that went to the National Assembly and were at the top echelon of that thing. So Muslim ticket, like Christian ticket, but again, like I wrote in one of my posts on the Facebook, that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has a lot to pick from the north, from the Christian community. And if I were him, I would think of how did I emerge as a candidate? How did it happen? Because there were so many intrigues, so many schemings here and there. There was a time they were flying the kite of the PP, it didn't work. Then they told Lawan, to quickly go and pick a ticket. It didn't work. Yeah. Why did it not work? Mr. President realized that, whether we like it or not, the democratic dispensation in any country, anywhere, resonates on the governance of those states. In Nigeria, the governors are going to be the ones to pick their delegates, and they are the ones to control their delegates. Okay. They are the ones who are going to pick their own people that they trust in and they believe in. So if Mr. President has gone ahead to that, he could have paid the way the whole thing came out. Because the Northern Governors Forum was very adamant. So they went, I'm now quoting El-Rufai, governor of Kaduna State, that they went to Mr. President and they asked and he said he had no candidates. And by the time the convention was to commence, that he went back, I'm quoting right now, on channels, that he went back to Mr. President, that by the time he retires, if he's coming back home to Kaduna to leave, how would the Kaduna delegates vote? And Mr. President told him he had no candidate. So, all these things point to one person and others. And that one person is called Simon Lalong, who is the chair of the Northern Governors Forum. Yeah. And who is the governor of Plateau State. So if the man has put his feet down and said, as far as I'm here, I'm not going to do it. And if you want to force me to do it, then forget about it. It could have been something else. But he concurred all through without even losing any ambition. Then let's look at the critical aspect of it all, which is very, very important and sacrosanct. Jaws has always been a theater of war. Talk about ethnic cleansing. Talk about religious bigotry. Talk about, ethnic battles and the rest of it, and talk about uncertainties, insecurities, whatever. Just has been. And this guy has been there now for close to 8 years. Managing the ship, navigating it with the right compass.
So, Mr. Chairman, invariably, you are now still going for Muslim Christian ticket.
I'm going for that because we have competent people from the north, who can go into that. And Nigeria is not mature to that level of saying, okay, we must have Muslim, Christian. And again, people are complaining, and Asiwaju Tinubu, whether we want to believe it or not, I'm so very close to Papa Olusegun Obasanjo. I'm saying here, in the global television, too close to him, very, very close to him, But Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is the political leader of the Yoruba race, whether we like it or not. If they have not given that ticket, and he say he's going to another party or whatever, many Yorubas will have gone with him. About 90% of the Yoruba political, guys who have gone. I'm not talking of political traders and entrepreneurs. I'm talking of the real politicians who have gone with him. So, and this may be, I'm not God, maybe this is the last chance he has. So he has to tread softly. He has to look for that Christian that can choose. And like I said, Lalong, and I told him to, if you don't want to pick Lalong and you have Boss Mustafa there, you can look at him. Boss Mustafa too is the brother to Pachia, and Pachia, the former SSG, campaigned vigorously for Tinubu. All of them stood by him that he should be this guy. And because of him, they said he should shift to the south. Because of him. We should understand that. Because of him, that this presidency must shift to the south. And when we talk about it, when they talk about Nigerian political scenario, in the reasons of it, there are only two major tribes that matter most in this country, politically. First, the Fulanis. Second, the Yorubas. And that's why you see they've been rotating the presidency among themselves. Balewa, Fulani. Shagari, Fulani. Yaradua, Fulani. Our father now, Buhari, Fulani. Obasanjo, Yoruba. Shoneko, Yoruba. Abiola, so rest in peace, Yoruba. Asiwaju Tinubu, Yoruba. So we should not play with that. So we should
Let's
understand
move on.
this.
Now, Kingsley Moghalu quits ADC after losing presidential ticket.
Who?
Kingsley Moghalu of African Democratic Party, he contested the presidential ticket under that political party, lost and is now quitting. Anything bad in that?
There's nothing bad in that now because I watched on television. It was defeated by this guy, who said he has all what it takes and this and that. Why he was talking about that he's the one that introduced our this thing now, transfer of money from our phones, from this and that and that. That's what he was claiming to himself, and I give it to him. The other guy was saying, listen, I've seen it all. And I'm going to change the political map. And I'm going to try to reinvent, I'm not using my own words, reinvent Nigeria. And we cannot continue doing the same thing at the same time and not expecting the same results. And we don't need rocket scientists to know what's going on in our country and to provide solutions. So he knocked him out, and he knocked him out silly.
Good. That's still on politics, but now on violence, Ekiti, panic over security as three major political parties there are at loggerheads and at each other's throat. The APC, the PDP, and the Social Democratic Party, under former Governor Olusegun Oni.
Yeah, that's true. And former Governor Olusegun
Serious violence in Ekiti State now.
Yeah, they had their debate, I think 2 days ago or so, and they were asked many questions, this and that. Politics in Nigeria is monetized. So everybody that is going for a political...
but if you want to spend money. Why spending bullets?
Why spending bullets? Because the people themselves are docile. Are the gubernatorial candidates the ones shooting themselves? Are their children the ones shooting themselves?
That is it.
Are their brothers doing it? This is I don't want to use any bad word or something. Miscreants, people without brain.
Referring to them as miscreants is not a bad word. That is what they are. Miscreants, scoundrels, political thugs.
Because these guys will not carry anything. We not even carry ordinary stick. No. And when these guys are going to anywhere, they will so bombarded with all the security people on earth. And these people who have nothing, don't even know, where to sleep, where their next meal is coming from. They will not be the one to take marijuana and start killing themselves for nothing. For me, Nigerian politics does not worth it. Because the people perceive themselves today as enemies. They're just like wrestlers. When people watch wrestling contests, they think those guys are really giving to them, they want to kill themselves. But thereafter, they end up in a bar, drinking and enjoying their lives. They've done everything they needed to do on the ring and off to go. The same thing Nigerian politicians, look at them. They jump ship and they get higher positions. So if some people now, Hunchins now, go around killing themselves, well, it's a major problem. But again, it points to one thing. Leadership itself is responsibility. Leadership itself is common sense. Leadership itself is legacy. And leadership itself is judgment after this act. That if people are killing people because of one person, then you should know that he carries a lot of things on his head. So for me, I'm an advisor, parents should talk to their children. The youth should learn their own lessons, that their counterparts are making it big in Europe and America. Those of them that go into politics, they are becoming prime ministers, they're becoming presidents and the rest of them like that, so they should not be used. And I'm so happy also that the youth today now are jumping up and they're collecting their PPC, voters' cards and whatever. And then I hope they're not just taking it for identification purposes. I hope the day of election, they will be able to go and vote. And when they talk about insecurity everywhere, we don't make use of intelligence information. It's unfortunate, particularly in the Southwest. And we're always reacting. When things have happened, then we start to react. We're going to do this, or could I do this? Well, that's General Chogun retired. A seasoned and tested veteran intelligence general. He wrote out information a few weeks ago that these people have surrounded the Southwest, and they start to strike anytime from now. It's head of Amotekun in Oyo State. Who used that information? He wrote it down. He said it, that these people have surrounded us, and people like us have written a lot about it. We've spoken about it in so many. I was in Teamstead, I was in Diamond. People are speaking about it, that we are warning these guys. Now we're advocating now that these people are being kicked out from Lagos. I said that in Lekki, they kill people in Lekki. Most of these people don't speak no single Nigerian language. Most of these people carry our NIN. And the purpose is to cause mayhem and to vote. Now, they start killing people. For ordinary change, before you know what's happening, they bring out dagger, they kill people, particularly at night. So they say, okay, they should leave. And they then came out to say, okay, look, governor, don't send them away because they're going to vote for him. That's what he told him. And he told them they should kiss their asses and get the hell out of there. And those of them who refuse to go, they seize all their motorcycles and, turn them to robbers. What's happening right now? They're now migrating to other places in the Southwest. And nobody's talking. The same criminals, the same potential terrorists that were sent away from one state in the Southwest and now coming to other states in the Southwest, and they are welcome. How about that? We talk again. That in Ijesha land, these people have taken over the entire Ijesha space. If not for the king that we have, our Owokuko of Ijesha land, and some other, prominent Ijesha kings, not all of them, that said enough is enough. They've taken over all the villages, all the towns in Ijesha land. That if the unexpected occurs, they will overrun the Yoruba population within seconds. Nobody's talking. They are watching. They are just watching. So if this thing happens, they will say, yes, sorry about it, this is what we're going to do. It's high time we gather intelligence, information. It's high time we started using them, accurately, promptly, and with immediacy and urgency, and attach importance to them. Because the way things are going right now, nobody knows. And they are now weaponizing themselves, for the next election. Where we are still talking about, okay, who is going to be the same Muslim ticket, this other ticket. These guys have got the NIN, they've got everything, they have got the voter register. They will vote. You'll be surprised that all of them will line behind Atiku. You'll be surprised. They just Shikabankasako. This guy's a Fulani, and these guys have come from all over the world. And he himself made a statement when they were coming. He said they are allowed to stay anywhere. He has never debunked that statement. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wrote out something on his Twitter handle. I read it. After he tweeted about Dorcas, he removed it. For the day of election, the same people are running away from Lagos now, coming to other places. They will be the same people to line up and vote. Whereas they'll be talking, I want to come. Yeah? Tinubu has done this and that and that. Tinubu have raised so many children of unknown parents to prominence and influence. Many of them who today can say this and that, we never knew their father. We never knew. I'm from Ibokun. I'm the son of Ajah Ibokun. We never knew their fathers, but they've been raised by Tinubu. And so it's the time now for him also, because that's what it takes. Not because he has done that, but because he has the compass, the map, the roadmap to be able to say, this is the way Nigeria has to go. And I've listened to many of his statements, and I know the guy, is good upset. So, but if we now allow people that are sent away from one part of our region to now migrate to another part of our region, and we are folding our arms and watching fire on demand.
Okay, thank you. No evidence has linked our jet attack to this one. That's quoting Governor Kayode Fayemi.
Well, this is what we've been saying right now, because the federal government is the only one that has the real thing that we don't know. But from experience, we know that these terrorists are always happy for one thing: propaganda. As a matter of fact, their leaders, when they send them on a mission, they wait patiently and be watching. The moment they see that people are dying, commotion everywhere, this and that, they start jubilating. And those people will be given a rousing welcome. And they will be the first to go all over the world that they've struck. They've not issued any single statement. Because these terrorist gangs and camps and their leaders will not do it without publicity. They want to make sure that they are around. And their sponsors also will be waiting to see how people are reacting for the money they spend and for everything. And again, they are fanatics without religion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're all over the world. And their own is to cause commotion. They're devil's advocates. and they don't care about Aljana or paradise. They even believe the more they kill, the more virgins they get in hell. So if we're not saying these same guys who are always happy with propaganda, always happy with killing people, and the rest of them have not issued a single statement, and we're not putting this thing right there, well, I don't know.
Thank you. Finally, Nigeria Super Eagles yesterday defeated the national team of Sao Tome 10-0.
It reminded of the World Cup in 1974 between Yugoslavia and I think Britain or Germany. They got 11-0. I was a young man then growing up in Germany. Honestly, when they asked me whether I'm an African, I told them I'm an American. You should know that. I mean, how can you ever think of that? And I know, come on, I don't know these guys. 11-0. We were there, I was watching, we were counting. Oh, they look at me, say, Sonny, if he comes to us and Nigeria, I said, nah, forget about it, you know. Because Africa, no, it's not going to happen. So I think it's a good start. But we should not start jumping up.
Okay.
They went to Mexico, they lost against Mexico, they lost against they lost. So, but the coach is new, and we said it and must give him a chance.
This is the second win.
Fantastic.
Defeated Sierra Leone 2-1. Coming from behind now, Sao Tome and Principe 10-0.
And the next one, we're hoping it's going to be 18-0.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sani.
My pleasure.
Olajayi, my usual bullying analyst on this program, Newspapers Today on OSBC television. We thank you for watching. Join my colleagues tomorrow 8:30 in the morning for the same program. Please stay tuned.